Sundays in Song, a weekly look at the musical offerings that occur here at St. David's Episcopal Church. My name is Dr. Douglas Buchanan, and it's my great pleasure to serve as Director of Music Ministries here. This week, the first Sunday in October, we'll be observing the feast of St. Francis of Assisi, whose prayer of peace and love of the natural world has made him a renowned and oft-looked-at figure. One of the pieces that we'll be performing today is a prayer of peace, a Gaelic Blessing by Stephanie Andrews. This piece sets a traditional text: deep peace of the running wave to you, deep peace of the flowing air to you, deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Each of these aspects of the world combine together into the peace of Christ, which is the center point of this prayer. Stephanie Andrews' setting of a Gaelic Blessing requires a flute, and we're thrilled to be welcoming two members of the Baltimore Flute Choir here this Sunday to perform not only on a Gaelic Blessing, but also in our opening voluntary. Our opening voluntary is a piece called Hymn and Fuguing Tune, and it's a piece that I wrote back in 2008. The hymn part of this features a hymn that is well known in Protestant traditions, but isn't in the hymnal 1982. It's Let All Things Now Living, also known by another name. It's a folk tune, the Ash Grove. It sounds like this. And this, along with Andrew's Gaelic Blessing, seems to resonate with the natural world. The text, let all things now living a prayer of thanksgiving, to God their Creator abundantly raise. In this hymn and fuguing tune, I've combined not only this hymn, Let All Things Now Living, but also a hymn that we've heard before in this season, Ein feste Burg ist unser Gott, or A Mighty Fortress is Our God. And if you listen to the flute parts this Sunday, you'll hear the two hymns together. As well as or if you put them together. Explains the hymn part, but what's a fuguing tune? Well, a fuguing tune was a special type of music that was made particularly during the colonial era of America. This hymn and fuguing tune genre was very common then, where a homophonic, that is a chordal hymn tune, would be played. There would be an imitative passage. A fugue is an imitative work, a work where a melody enters, and then the melody enters again and chases itself. And a fuguing tune was sort of a simplified version of the grand European form, the fugue. And it would have been sung throughout particularly colonial New England, was where it was very popular. What I've done here is I've invented a little tune. And that's our fuguing tune. And I really haven't invented it as much as I've blended it in terms of taking these two tunes together. And you can even hear the two tunes hidden inside this melody. Here's A Mighty Fortress is Our God hidden inside. And you can also hear the Ash Grove, that is, Let All Things Now Living hidden inside. If you take a listen. interwoven together. Now, I wrote this piece for my wedding, and each of those hymn tunes represented each of the traditions that I and my spouse came from. I from a Presbyterian tradition, and she from a Lutheran tradition. And if you listen carefully, you can even hear our initials woven together in this piece. But that's not the primary importance on Sunday. The primary importance is that this is an offering in the spirit of St. Francis and being offered up as a weaving together of all these different elements, particularly those of the natural world. We'll also be singing a beloved anthem by John Rutter, For the Beauty of the Earth. This doesn't take the traditional tune that we know of For the Beauty of the Earth, though we will be singing it during the course of the service. But instead, Rutter invents his own tune to go with the traditional text, extolling the beauty of the earth and our praise to God for that beauty and all the elements of the world. Thank you for watching, and I hope you can join us this Sunday as we raise our voices in joyful song, joining with creation in making a joyful noise. Thanks very much, and I look forward to singing with you.